Hey everybody, welcome to class today. Today is going to be part of our strength series. Today we're going to be working on the upper body, so not too much standing poses in this one, but a lot of shoulder work and a little bit heavy on the wrists. If you enjoy these classes, please remember to like and subscribe, and if you have any class requests, head over to my Instagram and let me know. We're going to get started today in a extended child's pose. Extending the arms long in front of you, active arms. Elbows are lifting away from the floor. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And let it go through the mouth. One more like that, nice deep inhale through the nose. Feel the belly rise. And then exhale through the mouth. And then closing the mouth, start to breathe in and out through the nose, maybe inviting in Ujjayi Pranayama. And then on your next inhale, lift the gaze, look towards the front of the mat. Take a bend in through the elbows and start to snake yourself forward into a cobra pose. Inhaling as the belly hits the floor, peeling the chest up. And then as you exhale, you're going to reverse the movement. So starting to send the hips up and then back towards the heels. And then starting to thread the heart through. Bend the elbows, forearms come to the floor. Peel the chest and the belly through. Inhale, cobra. And then as you exhale, press down through the hands. Send the hips up and back. Child's pose. Two more like that. Inhaling, rolling through to cobra. And then exhaling, pressing the hips up and back. Last one. Inhale, roll through. And this time we'll stay in cobra. And just exhale, roll it down. Take two more rolling cobras. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, and then this time press through the hands, come up into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, drop the belly, reach the sternum forward, cow belly. And then exhale, tuck the tail, press the floor away, cat. We'll take a few more in each direction, connecting to your breath. And then coming back to a neutral spine, take the knees back about a footprint's distance. And then as you inhale, shift the hips forward. Exhale, bend the elbows to graze the ribs. Lower the chest and the chin to the floor. The hips stay high. Inhale, press back up, tabletop position. Shift forward, and as you exhale, lower the chest and the chin. Elbows graze the ribs. Inhale, whole hand presses, come back up. Take two more like that. Lengthening through the back of the neck. Chin gently tucks towards the chest. And last one, lower the chin and the chest. And then this time as you inhale, once more, snake through to cobra. And then exhale, take it up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple the spine forward, plank pose. And then as you exhale, raise up onto the toes, pack the hips, come back into downward dog. Inhale, rolling forward, plank pose. And then exhale, hips up and high, downward facing dog. And take a few more like this, almost as if you've got a hurdle in the middle of your mat and you're working at pressing the floor up and away to get your hips and your belly up and over. Feeling the shoulders starting to warm up and engage, the belly, the legs. And take two more. Take an inhale, shift it forward into plank pose. Exhale here. And set up your foundation in plank. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders, gently gripping at the mat. And strongly engage the legs to lift the pelvis and the lower belly without piking the hips. On your next inhale, shift forward onto the toes. Knees can lower if you need to. Exhale, lower so that the shoulders don't come any lower than the elbows. Inhale, press back up to plank. Shift forward, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to plank. We're going for 5. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, press it up and back. Downward facing dog. Come up onto the fingertips of the right hand and then come up onto the fingertips of the left hand. And you can stay in stillness here if it feels okay in your body, taking some gentle bounces, opening up through the shoulders. And then looking forward as you inhale, roll the spine forward. Come up into plank on your fingertips, strengthening through the hands and the wrists. If this is too much, you can come to your fists or back to your palms. And then as you exhale, coming up and back over that hurdle into downward dog. And we'll roll through a few of these, staying up on your fingertips if you can, modifying at any time if you need to. Especially if you feel any sharp pains throughout the wrists. And then coming back into plank pose, slowly lower onto the right palm and then the left palm. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Flip the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, raise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And take an extra cycle of breath and we'll go through some sun salutations. We're going to add on an extra chaturanga. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk or float, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Look to the top of the mat, step, walk or float. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step, walk or float, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Look to the top, step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. Step, walk or float. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise. 2 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, second chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale. Step, walk or float. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, second chaturanga. Inhale, exhale. Step, walk or float. Inhale, exhale. This time as you inhale, lift the right foot, slip the right palm underneath. And then the left foot, slip the left palm underneath. Padahastasana, standing on the feet. Take as much of a bend into the knees as you need to. And then let the head and neck be heavy as you gently draw the palms away, or the backs of the hands away from the floor, and stand the feet down onto the palms. And slowly releasing the hands. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sink the hips, chair pose. Exhale, come all the way to standing. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, second chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to take some dive bombers. So it's kind of like a roll through to an upward facing dog. Look forward between the palms. Start to bend the elbows back towards the torso and scoop the chest down towards the floor, and in a fluid movement come all the way through to upward facing dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, pike the hips back to downward facing dog. Start to bend the elbows, scoop the chest towards the floor, roll it through. Inhale, upward dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. We'll do it a few more times. It takes a while to get a hang of it sometimes. Start to bend the elbows, send the nose and the chest forward. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then take 2 or 3 more at your own pace. Finding your rhythm, you might need to drop the knees. And then we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Maybe coming up onto the fingertips, giving the wrists a little bit of a break. And then inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower the right forearm down, and the left forearm down, coming into forearm plank. And bring the big toes together, and as you inhale, roll to the outside edge of the right foot. Send the left arm up towards the sky. Baby Vashisthasana. Stack the left hip on top of the right, and think of gently drawing the right shoulder blade down the back. Sometimes it helps to reach the left hand underneath and behind and manually direct that shoulder blade down the back. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, come back through forearm plank. Take it over to the left side. Inhale, sweeping the right arm up, stacking the right hip on top of the left. And once again, maybe you take that right hand underneath and gently draw the left shoulder blade down and onto the thoracic or the rib cage. And take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to forearm plank. And here the forearms are parallel, the palms are spread. Start to walk the feet in for dolphin pose. The head is heavy and off the ground. And think of pressing the chest back towards the thighs, the heels down towards the floor. You bend the knees as much as you need to get as much length as you can in the upper body. And think of actively pressing the forearms away from the floor. And then from here, just like we did from downward dog, we're going to make a dive bomber sort of movement. So you're going to start to shift the chest and nose forward. Lift up through the elbows. We're making our way into chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Don't worry, we've got a few more of those to do so you can get the hang of it. Dropping one elbow or both elbows at a time, come back into your dolphin pose. Making sure that the forearms are shoulder distance apart. Start to look forward. Start to shift forward, lift the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. One more for the moment. One or both elbows at the same time. Dolphin pose. Start to look forward, shift forward, scoop the chest forward, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right leg up and behind you. Exhale, shift forward, tap right knee, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it through. Line up for warrior two, heel to arch. And as you inhale, cartwheel the arms open. So we're going to do a brief standing series here, but we're going to keep the arms in this position the whole time. You'll definitely start to feel the burn. So sink nice and deep into the front knee. Make sure that the front knee is not collapsing. And then grow nice and tall through the torso. Take a peek back. Make sure that your back hand is extended long at the height of the shoulder. And then relax the shoulders away from the ears. We've got about 5 more breaths here. Keep checking in with your alignment points. Keep standing strong. On your next inhale, start to straighten out through the right leg. Rotate both feet over to the back of your mat, and we're going to come into warrior two on the other side. So start to sink into the left knee. Same alignment points here. Make sure that the front knee is not collapsing. Grow tall through the torso. If you do need a break through the arms, feel free to bring the hands to the shoulders and take a breath and then join us again. We've got about 7 more breaths here. Stay calm in the mind, calm in the breath. Slowly start to straighten the front leg. Rotate the feet back to the front. Take an inhale, warrior two. Exhale, sink deep. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Option for a single leg vinyasa. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, back to chaturanga or single leg. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left leg up. Exhale, tap left knee, left elbow. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, step it through for warrior two, heel to arch. Inhale, cartwheel the arms open, warrior two. Yes, we are doing the same thing again. So you know what's coming this time. Try and go to a place of meditation and calmness. And just think about how strong your shoulders are going to be after this. See if you can engage a little more in the triceps, the backs of the arms. extending actively through the fingers and bringing the tension out of the upper shoulders. Straighten out through the front leg, shift the feet over to the back of the mat, and then sink into Warrior Two on the right side, setting up your same alignment points, relaxing the upper shoulders. Slowly straighten the front leg, take it back to the left side, sink into Warrior Two for a breath cycle. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And then exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Always feel free to skip vinyasas, but it is an arm strengthening class, so, you know. Option for a single leg, shift forward, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Option back to single leg, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then walk the hands back towards your feet. And just take opposite hand to opposite elbow and just let it hang for a moment, swaying side to side. And then coming to stillness in the middle, gentle bend in through the knees. Keep grasping opposite hand to opposite elbow. As you inhale, lengthen the torso forward as if you're bringing the forearms to the front of the room. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift. Exhale to release. And then crawl the hands all the way back out to downward facing dog. Take an inhale here, and then we're going to do downward dog push-ups. So as you exhale, you can drop to your knees if you need to. But as you exhale, you're going to drop the elbows to the floor to hover as if you're going to come into dolphin. Inhale, straighten it back out, downward dog. Exhale, elbows bend to hover. Inhale, downward dog. And then keep going like this. Try not to let the elbows splay out to the side. And keep a firm grounding through the palms. Take 3 more. Come up into downward dog. And then take a dive bomber. So once again, bringing those elbows down to hover. Scoop the chest forward all the way. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Drop the elbows down, walk the feet forward, come into dolphin. And then this time, raise the right leg up. All 5 toes point down and the left heel draws down to the floor. Left hip to the back of the room. Keep strongly pressing down through the forearms. Relax the head and neck. And then take the right foot down, sweep the left leg up behind you. And take the left leg down, walk it back, forearm plank. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly lower the hips, coming into Sphinx pose. Untuck the toes, draw the chest through the gateway of the arms. And take a few breaths here. Feel free to drop the neck, maybe stretch one ear to the shoulder and then the other. And then keeping the tops of the feet grounded, we're going to come from Sphinx into a variation of a forearm plank. So staying on the tops of the feet, take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, engage the shoulders and the lower belly. Lift yourself up into a forearm plank variation. As you inhale, slowly start to pull the chest forward. Just tap the hips to the floor. Exhale, come back up. Inhale, slowly lower the hips with control. Exhale, bring it back up. And do a few more like this, feeling the work that it takes not only in your center and in your core, but also in the shoulders to keep the elbows from splaying out. And in the legs as well. Definitely feel this in the legs. And then slowly lower back down to Sphinx pose. Take an inhale. And then exhale, roll it all the way onto the belly. So from here, you're going to keep your forehead down on the floor. We're going to work the rotator cuff, the muscles that control the shoulder movements. So keep the forehead down on the floor, and as you inhale, you're going to raise the arms up in a cactus position. So the elbows are at the height of the shoulder. Gently tuck press the pubic bone down into the floor. Take an inhale. And then keeping the forehead and the upper body on the floor, exhale, reach the arms forward in front of you. Take an inhale here. Exhale, draw the elbows back, cactus the arms. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, draw it forward. Exhale to cactus. And keep going like this, trying to keep length through the back of the neck and trying to keep the height of the elbows in line with the shoulders, as if you're moving along a plane of glass. And then exhale, draw the hands back underneath the shoulders, hug the elbows in. Knees up or down, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, drop the knees, come into a tabletop position. So from here, your knees can be underneath your hips or slightly back, whatever's the most comfortable for you. But I want you to have your shoulders directly over your wrists. Your eyes of your elbows are facing forward so that your elbows aren't locked. Just like we did in cat-cow, you're going to think of pressing the floor away, but the spine is going to stay neutral. So as you inhale, I want you to think of sinking into the shoulders as if the shoulder blades are drawing together. And then as you exhale, think of pressing the floor away. Feel the shoulder blades wrap around the rib cage, widening away from each other. Inhale, feel the shoulder blades sliding together. And then as you exhale, press away. So your spine should be staying relatively neutral. This is quite a hard movement to do because we generally don't have a lot of awareness around our shoulder girdle, and one side might feel really clunky and uncoordinated. That's fine. We're just working to strengthen the muscles that help to control that shoulder movement. So then when we do things like inversions and arm balances, we're much stronger and much more protected in the shoulder joint, and we don't end up with injuries like impingement or rotator cuff problems. So you can stay here on your hands and your knees, or you can start to walk the knees backwards so that you're in a longer position, or you can take this up into a plank position. Wherever you decide to take it, I don't want you to start to bunch your shoulders up by your ears. You want to try and keep that smooth movement of just the shoulder girdle, so the hips and the spine and the neck all stay in one long line. I'm going to take 3 more wherever you are. And then come all the way back to downward facing dog. Walk the hands back to the feet. And then cross one elbow on top of the other. And then whatever feels natural, switch it. So cross the unnatural elbow on top. Take a slight bend in the knees, and just like we did before, as you inhale, Send the spine long, halfway lift, elbows to the front of the room. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Walk yourself back out into downward dog. One elbow at a time or both at the same time. Lower the forearms down. Dolphin pose. And then this time you're going to interlace the fingers, so as if you're coming into a bound headstand. Make sure that the elbows don't come any wider than the shoulders. And your stance is going to be a little bit longer. Start to look towards the fingers as you inhale. Shift the shoulders forward so that the nose comes to either tap the thumbs or taps the mat in front of the fists. Exhale, send it back to your dolphin pose. And you can wiggle around to find your length. We're going to go for 15. Inhale, tap it forward. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And then take it at your own pace. Take breaks when you need to. You might have to readjust your elbows as you go. Five more. And then when you're finished, lower the knees down, come into a brief child's pose. Slowing down the breath. And then from here, keeping the arms long, you're going to snake yourself forward either into a Sphinx pose or into a seal pose. So starting to roll forward, snaking your way up the spine, either staying on the forearms or the elbows or taking the hands out in front of you and coming up into a little bit of a higher back bend for seal pose. Wherever you are, when you think of drawing your elbows or your palms towards the back of the room and then drawing your sternum towards the front of the room, strongly engage the legs. And then exhale, roll it down. Hands underneath the shoulders, hug the elbows, knees up or down. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look towards the top of the mat, step walk or float through to a seat. And then bring the feet out in front of you, hips distance apart. And bring the hands back behind you, about a forearm's distance behind you, so they'll land directly under the shoulders. The fingers can face towards the heels or out slightly. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, lift up into reverse table, feeling the nice stretch in through the chest. And then from here, we're going to take some tricep dips. So inhale here, and then exhale. Think of the elbows shooting towards the back of the room. Bend the elbows, maybe the hips tap the floor, but I want the bend to be in through the arms. Inhale to straighten the arms. Exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, exhale. And keep moving through at your own pace. If you want to challenge yourself a bit more, you can take one leg to float. But again, making sure that the movement is coming from the elbows and not the hips. If you floated one leg, take it down, switch it over. And then coming back up into reverse table, take an inhale. Take the hands a little bit wider so that your hips can slide in between them. Inhale here. Exhale, start to straighten the legs. The hips are going to shoot back to hover between the hands. Inhale, swing it forward, reverse table. Exhale, hips between the hands. Inhale, reverse table. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Hover. Maybe you can hover one leg. Maybe the other. Maybe both. And then lower the hips down. Inhale, stretch the arms up and overhead. Hook one thumb on top of the other. And think of pulling the arms apart, widening through the chest. And then as you exhale, hinge and fold it forward, reaching for the soles of the feet or beyond. And use the feet to press into the hands and see if then you can think of pulling the upper body back slightly. You should feel a really nice stretch in through the sides of your arms. And then slowly relax. From here, you're either going to make your way into Gomukhasana legs or a simple cross-legged position. Take the right foot by the left hip and then stack the left knee on top of the right, outside edges of the feet together, to the floor, sorry. And then with your left leg on top, you're going to take your right arm up and over. Maybe you just take the left hand to the elbow and press it back, pressing the head back into the arm. Or take the left hand underneath, reaching for the top hand. Wherever you are, sit up nice and tall and think of the head gently pressing back to lengthen the back of the neck. The elbow is drawing back in line with the ear. And then slowly release. We'll switch it out. Take the left leg underneath, the right leg on top, or just switch the cross of your shins. And then this time the left arm's going to come up and over, either taking the right hand to the elbow or taking the right hand up and underneath, reaching for the left hand. A strap, your t-shirt, your ponytail, whatever you can get a hold of. Wherever you are, sitting up nice and tall, drawing the chin gently back in towards the throat. And then slowly releasing. From here, you're going to uncross your legs, cross over at the ankles, and make your way back to where we started in a child's pose. And then thread your left arm underneath the right, coming in to thread the needle. The palm faces up. And think of drawing the right ribs down to the floor to increase the stretching through the left arm. So this is less about the twist in the spine and more about the stretch through the back of the left arm. And then extend that left arm long. Thread the right arm underneath the left, palm up. And then think of drawing the left ribs back down towards the floor as you slowly lower the chest to the floor, feeling the stretch in the back of the right arm. And then slowly releasing the right arm. We're going to finish today in a version of child's pose. So bring the palms together in prayer. And then start to bend at the elbows, bringing the hands above the head like a little shark fin. You should feel a nice stretch in through the triceps here. If you have blocks or books, you can put your elbows up on the books and then sink the chest down. That gives you a really nice opening through the shoulders. And then we're going to do one last thing together here. I invite you to take one nice deep breath in through the nose. And then just let it go through the mouth. Using this time with your forehead connecting to the earth. Just feel the rise and fall of your belly between your legs. this grounding and connection of yourself to earth, to life. And please stay here for as long as you have time for today. Today, as you go forward, may you be peaceful in your thoughts, kind in your words, and gracious within your heart. Namaste.